All right.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
We're ready.
Recording?
We're ready.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. We're here with another webinar and another wonderful guest speaker. I want to just recognize all our members that are here with us today and all our guests for, I do see a handful of new names. So I just want to give a really quick introduction on the organization and the founders. My name is Letitia Douglas. I am the vice president of the collaboration. There's three other founders. You have Sydney Simpkins, who is our mentor, our resident mentor. Nay Falls is our membership director, and she's a branch manager at People's Bank. Back to Sydney, she is in compliance, right? She's owner of Simpkins Associates. And last but not least, we have Sammy Williams, who is the president of the collaboration, and she's also the owner of Sam's Word, which is a content strategist and writing company. The collaboration was, it started about 2 years ago, just an attempt to bring together minority women in the same space to learn off of each other, to grow, to network, share ideas, and just to be in the same collaboration and kind of grow off of each other. So we've had a number of in-person events before COVID, then we switched over to webinars. So that's been going great. We have, I think, about 40 members altogether in about 8 different states, and we're growing. So that's been great. And I also want to introduce Cathy. So today, Cathy is our guest speaker. Just to go over a little bit of what she does, Cathy has been really instrumental within the local New Haven, Connecticut area, both in her corporate career and her community and volunteer work. So Cathy is currently the Deputy Director of the Economic Development for the City of New Haven and the Executive Director of the Small Business Resource Center, where she is tasked with the growth of small businesses through development of entrepreneurship. Prior to that, Cathy was the Director of Compliance for Center Plan Construction Company, and she also served as the Vice President of Finance, Investments, and Administration, and Vice President of Special Projects for the Community Foundation of Greater New Haven. Cathy's community involvement is also endless. She's an active member of the Greater New Haven community and is a firm believer in giving back. So just to highlight a few of her efforts, she is a trustee for the City Employees Retirement Board for New Haven. She holds various board memberships, including the Continuum of Care and the Prosperity Foundation, the New Haven Board of Police Commissioners, and the Urban League of Southern Connecticut. She's also the commissioner of the Connecticut Commission on Health Equity and the current president of the New Haven chapter of Links. Cathy is also a member of the Dixwell Avenue United Church of Christ. She holds a business degree from Providence and graduate professional certifications from George Washington University and the Wharton School of Business at UPenn.
That's just a short list. Cathy hasn't been busy at all.
So today, Cathy is joining us in the collaboration of minority women professionals to discuss leveraging transferable skills. So whether that's from one company to the next, from one industry to another industry, from corporate to entrepreneurship, or even just your corporate entrepreneurial skills into your volunteer and community service. So with that, I'll turn it over to Sammy, who will lead us through a discussion with Cathy.
Thank you, Letitia, and all the co-founders that are on the call, our members who joined, non-members. We're going to be throwing some links at you later, so stay tuned in the chat for that. Cathy, thank you for agreeing to be our guest speaker today.
Thank you for inviting me. Just want to add a clarification. I'm a past member, a past commissioner of the police, and I'm a past member of the Urban League of Southern Connecticut Board, where I served as treasurer.
Okay. So you're not as busy anymore.
I'm not as busy anymore.
Oh, okay.
I spent 16 years on the police commission.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, so that's why we have you here, because I mean, just listening to that extensive history of everything you've done and all the different types of roles you played. When we chat with you, that was one of the things you really wanted to talk about, was using the transferable skills. And you also mentioned having the confidence to use those transferable skills. And I know you felt like confidence was really important.
It's huge, because even though we don't think about it, we don't think we have it, when we're put in a situation where we have to sink or swim, you choose to swim. And I think that has helped me throughout my professional career. I've always chose to swim.
Yes, and it reminds me of Dory, right? Finding Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Oh boy.
Right? That's what look, it's a philosophy, okay? So
Yeah.
Cathy, I know your career journey started in finance, right? So you were the VP of Finance, Investments, and Administration, and also the VP of Special Projects with the Community Foundation of Greater New Haven. So that was the early part of your career. I know you then moved into construction, and you became the Director of Compliance with Centerplan, the construction company.
Mm-hmm.
Then you moved into the City of New Haven. So at the City of New Haven, you're now the Deputy Director of Economic Development for the city, and also the Executive Director of the Small Business Resource Center. That is the SBRC, right?
SBRC.
So these are all very different industries, roles, and career types. So how did you know which skills you needed to tap into and to really leverage as your career changed and progressed? Because sometimes, I talk to people all the time when they're changing industries, and they really they feel they have nothing in that area, but they really want to go into it. So you navigated all these different industries. How did you do that?
Well, first of all, with the Community Foundation and forward, that's pretty much the latter part of my career. My early career started with Arthur Anderson accounting firm.
Okay.
And, I traded money for Freddie Mac. I managed a $6 billion portfolio.
Wow.
And I managed the pension portfolio for Potomac Electric Power Company before relocating to New Haven, and I spent 11 years with the Bank of Ireland. And I was vice president of client services. I was vice president of sales, and ended up vice president of marketing for North America. So with that career path, I was able to really apply all the skills required for all of the latter part of my career. Because when you start digging deep into what you have,
Mm-hmm.
everything you acquire along the way, it doesn't have to be a paid skill. You don't have to get paid to acquire these skills, because you don't think about the skill that you may get because you planned an event for a board you served on.
Right.
Or you wrote a newsletter for one of the organizations that you belong to. All of those are transferable skills. So along the way, every single thing you do, you just have to dig deep and think about what you've done and how to apply it. If you're organized, well, that's a skill.
Absolutely.
And it's a necessary skill. And no matter what you do, you're gonna run into that bump and say, okay, well, what are the skills I need to do this job? How do I apply them? How do I apply what I've learned? Let me just open up my little suitcase of skills and pull some out. If you have to, many of us serve on nonprofit boards, and just think about the multiple tasks that's required.
Oh, yeah.
Just sitting on a nonprofit board, whether it's fundraising or compliance or organizing or being present and collaboration. All of those are transferable skills that we don't necessarily pay attention to. But you look at what has to be done, and you look at what you have done. You apply it and keep it moving forward. We'll always be learning something different. In my job now, I'm always learning something different because it's a new environment. But you can apply what you've learned in other environments in your new environment and keep moving.
I'm glad you mentioned the serving on boards and commissions, because a lot of times people don't think about leveraging their community involvement and their voluntary work that they're doing. They will leave it off of their resume, they'll leave it off of LinkedIn, and they don't really see those as strengths because it's not part of an actual their paid job. And so I think that's important too. One, to get involved, right? We just heard Cathy's dissertation of all the community places that she's involved with, right? Like it's extensive. So one is to, if you're not involved in the community in some way, first get involved. See what roles you can play and how you can use, again, leveraging those transferable skills from what you've been doing into those new roles, and then just take on new responsibilities.
That's right, because when you're sitting on a board, just think about it. You have management skills, you have conflict resolution, you have to collaborate, you have to be innovative, you have to negotiate contracts from time to time. Right. You have to have leadership. If you're doing a fundraiser, it's event planning, and you have to understand your financials. Just think about all of those skills that go into just sitting on a board.
Right.
Yeah.
True. True.
So, Cathy, with that, are you selective with the boards that you sit on?
I am. I am, because when you serve on a board, your heart has to be in it.
True.
Your heart has to, you have to believe in their mission, and you have to be committed to the mission. Right. So you have to be selective. Yeah.
Because you also don't want to spread yourself too thin, right? Because
correct. Not boards tend to take a lot of time.
And they take a lot of time. And I know you probably get invitations a lot to like this. So we thank you for joining us because we know you're busy. So I know your schedule is probably very booked, and you can't say yes to everything.
Right. And one of the things I learned early in my career, that no is a part of strategic planning.
Amen. I like that.
You have to say no, and you have to be very comfortable saying no. And I think I was around 40-ish when I really reached that comfort zone. So I'm comfortable saying no now, and I don't have any regrets about it. So if you hear me say no, no means no.
That's why we said Cathy is not shy. Cathy keeps saying how shy she is. She'll cut you down in a minute. No, I said no. Don't even care. So now,
you have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable in your skin, but you also have to know your limitations, and you have to be comfortable with it. And it gets to a point where you have to make time for yourself, and making time for yourself requires saying no.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
I'm gonna write that one down too. I'm glad we're recording this. So I want to talk about your roles that you're in now, right? Because even with the different industries that you went into, now you're in the same industry, but within your position, I guess, you're serving two capacities, right? So you are the Deputy Director of Economic Development for the City of New Haven, but you are also the Executive Director of the Small Business Resource Center. So how did that come about? Did you have an interest in working with the small business owners?
Well, the position, there are two deputy directors. One focuses on development, one focuses on small businesses. So I focus on small business. So the whole entrepreneur piece just kind of fits right in, because there are so many people out here that have dreams, and many of them don't know how to finesse them into reality. And the good news is when we're able to do that. So we are able to help people start a business from dream to reality. But when they come in, we help them get their credit right if their credit's not right, because we can't take you to a bank and get you some money at the end of the program if your credit's not right, and we don't want you to waste your time, and we don't want to waste our time. So make sure that we get your credit right, and we collaborate with the Urban League of Southern Connecticut in doing that. I've also found, I'm just going to take a detour for a minute, because some of the people come up, and as much as they may want to start a business, they're really looking for a job. So at some point you're counseling them saying, okay, well, you really don't want your own business. You want to be employed and you want a paycheck, and you think this is the quickest means to an end. So let me help you. Let me help direct you to a place that can help you find a job. So we do a little bit of that too, even though workforce isn't part of what we do, but we do direct and try to help assist when we can. So we take you from getting your credit right, assessing if you are in fact an entrepreneur. We have a whole assessment that you take, because if you're an entrepreneur, you may be the person with the idea, but you may not be the operational person. So we kind of decide, you know, what type
a lot of people can't execute.
That's right. They're very limited. And then we teach you how to set up a business, the legalities of setting up a business, understanding the financials of the business, understanding how to write a business plan, understanding how to market your business, and at the end, a completed business plan. And we can pass you up to SBDC, where they can help you with access to capital. And we have them come in and talk about that. And Jennifer, are you there?
She's eating, Kathy.
Oh, she's eating. All right.
I'm still here.
Jennifer's a product of our program.
Yes, I was in the program and I found it really helpful. I made some great connections in the program as well.
Oh, okay. So, and that's one of the things we do, but we're not limited to that. So we get the new entrepreneurs up and running. The existing, more mature businesses, we have some online training, because we recognize they can't always come to a program, but they just need to elevate the skills they currently have. So strategic planning, conflict resolution, IT, taking the financials to a different level, understanding risk. We have online licenses that we've had for the past year for those existing businesses. We also have a relationship with Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is executive level MBA-like program for the mature business that's been in business for 2 years, for more employees, $150,000 a year in revenue or more. And they take you under their wing. And all of this free consulting from Goldman Sachs, and you're forever in the Goldman Sachs. Yes. After completing the program, you have to be admitted into the program. It's a rigorous process, but once you're in, you're part of the Goldman Sachs family. So we don't let you go just because you're a new business. We try to create a continuum for you, and we're always there for support.
Yes, and are you launching something? There was a session yesterday, I believe, with Goldman Sachs, right?
Goldman Sachs is in the process of taking in new businesses. So if anyone attended that workshop, please feel free to apply to the Goldman Sachs program. And what's important to note about all the programming that we do, it's free. And I hate to use the word free, because time is money. So we don't want to waste your time, and we don't want to waste our time working with you if you're not committed to it. We want you to be committed, because we're committed to your success. Your success is our success.
Yes. So Kathy, in running the program, were there any of your skills throughout the different industries that you've been in that you felt that you leveraged those skills in now running this entrepreneurship program? Which skills do you find to be most useful?
Collaboration. See, well, I grew up in a very corporate environment. And so now working in government's a little different. So you really have to apply, you have to be more collaborative, I think, because corporate America is more bottom line oriented. It's completely different. Conflict resolution, you have to understand that. You have to be innovative. Innovative is very key, because it's a new day and we have to adjust. We have to really prepare ourselves for the future, and we have to be able to pivot. So be able to think on your feet and make quick decisions.
And those are all things entrepreneurs need to know. We're
Right.
especially in the stage of COVID.
You
Pivot
have,
is the word of the season.
and one of the things we had to do, all of our classes were in person and now they're virtual. And we're starting our next cohort on October the 19th. So if anyone's interested in participating in our next cohort, please go on the website and complete an assessment form so we can get you through the process. Even negotiation skills, you know, contract negotiations, not that I have to negotiate a lot of contracts, but those negotiation skills are huge. Management, leadership,
Yeah.
all of those skills just kind of, they just kind of fall in. And each day is a new day.
Yeah. So
Our
working,
marketing, you have to market it. And because
marketing is important.
it's huge, because one of the things we don't think about is that we are our brand. So even in being an entrepreneur or just working in your day-to-day position, you are your brand. And that's the way you have to present
Yeah.
who you are and be comfortable with who you are.
So now you're, like you said, you're working in government. So which skills do you really use the most in that's very political now, some of the things you're doing. So you have finance, you have construction, you have your community involvement, and then you got government. So, how are you really using those skills, construction, right? In a government role?
Well, just think about it. We have a small contractor program that is headed up by Lil Snyder. Understanding the contractors come in and they want access to capital. You know, you have to understand what they're talking about. Sydney's familiar with that.
Yes, I am. And with Miss Lil.
So Sydney's very familiar with that. But I think every single thing that I can pull out of my hat, every skill I can pull out of my hat, you apply it because it's business. It may be corporate, it may be government, but
That's
business,
right. It's business. It's true.
it's business. And so you just keep it moving because business is business.
Business is business. And I know we kind of quickly brushed over your role at the Community Foundation, but I heard that while you were there, you helped to launch the CONCAT, the Connecticut Center for Arts and Technology. So can you tell me more about your technical and analytical background? Because we've talked about all these other areas, but we haven't even talked about technical and analytical skills. So, and I guess that comes back to your finance days. Maybe you're pulling from some of that. So let's talk about CONCAT. What did you do there?
Well, CONCAT, the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven had been working on this for several years. And I was the representative from the Community Foundation, and we had a community representative, Carlton Highsmith, who launched this project. The headquarters is the National Center for Arts and Technology out of Pittsburgh. And Bill Strickland is the founder of the National Center for Arts and Technology, and he has several centers throughout the United States. And I think Connecticut was maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
So one of the things that I had the responsibility of doing was location. I had to find a location because NCAT has a look about them. And if you go to different centers throughout the United States, they all have the same type of look. And one day, Will Vinsberg said, "Kathy, why don't you go over to Science Park? There's a building with a green roof. I think you'll like it," because it was the look, more industrial kind of look I was looking for. And I went there and fell in love with it and took Carlton over there. And we just started moving forward with negotiating a lease so we could move forward with the construction. CONCAT is an after-school programming in the arts for youth at risk. It is also training for adults that are employed and or underemployed. Part of the 5-year plan when we set up the case for support was to open up a culinary arts program. They have since added the culinary arts program as well as expanding to a development arm. So CONCAT is moving forward. They're doing extremely well, and I'm very proud to have been associated with that project.
Mm-hmm.
That just made me think. Sorry, Kathy, it's not on your list of questions. But I was just wondering, of all the initiatives that you've been involved in, which are really near and dear to your heart? Which ones are you very proud of? And tell us too, which would you rather not do again?
As I think back over the years that I've been involved in different projects, each of them have been a stepping stone for the next.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I would do each and every one over again.
Oh,
I
that's awesome.
would. And I'm extremely proud of the growth at CONCAT. I'm really, really proud. And as I serve on the Prosperity Foundation, I am a board member. One of the things that I did while at the Community Foundation was wrote a grant to the Kellogg Foundation, which really funded the beginning of the Prosperity Foundation. The Prosperity Foundation is a community foundation that focuses on Black people in education and economic empowerment. It is no different from any other community foundation, except there is a focus on us, for us, by us. And I really, I really hope as we move forward, particularly in these times, that we learn as Black people how to support each other. The Prosperity Foundation sets up endowment funds just like any other foundation. And our funds are managed by the Community Foundation, which has a very strong advisory board and investment management arm. And we're very comfortable with the results that we've been getting in their management. So that's something I'm extremely proud of. We're growing it. We're going to continue to grow it. We're in our 5th year, and I think that we're getting ready to take off. So I would encourage everyone to go online to the Prosperity Foundation in New Haven and either make a contribution to a fund and or establish an endowment fund. We have to think in terms of sustainability, particularly if you're a nonprofit. Think about the sustainability of your nonprofit. An endowment fund will disperse funds back to your nonprofit every year as it grows. Your corpus is reinvested, your returns are dispersed to your entity. And
while you're continuing, my co-founders, I was going to text you, but I'd rather just talk to you guys. Can one of you go and grab some of these links and start putting it in the chat so that we can make sure we're sharing it? So we have the Small Business Resource Center with the City of New Haven, and then we have the Prosperity Foundation.
Yes, and I understand we have people from all over the United States on the call.
Yes.
You can go onto the Prosperity Foundation website and make a contribution as well, or you can call us and set up an endowment fund. Many of us set up scholarship funds or funds for the benefit of school children ages 5 to 7 that may have health issues, or for the benefit of purchasing books. I mean, you can be that specific when you're setting up an endowment fund. And we're happy to work with you.
That is really cool. So, Sydney, I like how
I'm doing my taxes as we speak, so you know.
Always multitasking, but Zoom, I love how it illuminates and tells you, puts you on blast exactly who it is.
How are you?
So, Kathy, when you start thinking about, the needs of the small business Black owner community, what do you think we're doing well, and where do you think we can improve?
I think the biggest challenge that I find with our businesses, and that is having our back office in order. And Samantha, that is your strength. It is one of the things, anyone that graduates from the Entrepreneurship Academy, we give, and Samantha is our back office support. Was it 5 hours?
I believe it was 5 or 6, I think.
5 hours of back office support just to get you started on the right track. It is so, so very important that you have your back office in order. You have to have your financials in order. Many of the smaller businesses missed out on SBA lending, the PPP, because they did not have their back office in order, and it is so key for growth. It is so key. I think that is, if there's anything I can recommend, please make sure your back office is in order. Keep track of all of your financials. Create financial statements. Cash flow is huge.
And that's what I was going to ask you to discuss a little bit. When you say back office, what are some of the key things that especially micro small business owners need to be mindful of?
Work with your banks. Make sure you have a business account. Make sure you keep your personal separated from your business. Set up an LLC. Make sure you understand and you're always in touch with your financials. Many people will say, well, I have a bookkeeper, but they don't know what's going on. Understand what's going on, because the bookkeeper can be doing anything, but you need to understand what the bookkeeper is doing. You don't have to know how to be a bookkeeper, but you need to understand it. You need to understand what your accountant is doing. You don't have to be an accountant, but understand what's in your financials. I've had people come to me with a business plan, and I ask them, well, did you write this? No. Well, what's in it? Well, I paid someone to do this for me. Well, did you at least read it? Well, it looks really pretty. It looks good. It presents well. Know your documents. Understand your documents. And those are the challenges that we see going forward. But understand that having that back office, that's huge. And that'll keep you out of the availability of whatever programs come out.
And that was an issue. That was an issue we experienced recently with all the stimulus packages. A lot of us just didn't have our stuff together, and then we didn't have access to it.
And then I got calls of complaints. Well, I couldn't do it. Well, why couldn't you do it? Did you have? No. Well, that's
why not?
So as a result, in response to that, for those people that were unable to take advantage of the Small Business Administration, PPP, and the stimulus loans, the City of New Haven, in partnership with the Community Foundation, rolled out a partnership loan. And this partnership loan is 4%. The first year is interest only for New Haven-based minority businesses and female-run businesses. The first 16.67% of it is forgivable, and you start paying it back after the second year, because the first year is interest only. So for example, if you borrow, it's from $10,000 to $25,000. If you borrow $25,000 and you're New Haven based or women owned, you pay back $21,000 because the first 16.67% is forgiven. And you start paying it back over a 5-year term in the second year of the loan. The reason why it's a loan fund, because we wanted to create a vehicle, a pool of funds that small businesses would always have a go-to. So when we start looking at you as an entity, we're looking at credit, but no, we're not looking at credit, because we also understand that through this pandemic, people's credit has suffered. So we're looking at you holistically, because you may have had a 650, 700 pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, or while we're going through it, it could have dropped down to 550, 600. So we're looking at you holistically. We're looking at your financials. okay, this was a solid business, but it hit a stumbling block, or it
Right.
had. So this loan was established for those businesses that have had challenges, but we still want you to submit a cash flow. You have
Right.
to in your financials.
Thank
But
you.
we're there. It's managed by Headco. So you go on to headco.com, and it's the partnership loan.
Yes, and Letitia just
Does
put that
not
link
have pardon
in
me?
Letitia just put that link in the chat.
Okay, so it doesn't have a closing date. It's something that we want to have a revolving loan available for small businesses and women-owned businesses in the New Haven area. Since the Community Foundation is a partner in this, it now covers their 20-town coverage area.
Okay. And I think it's
Yeah.
important for our membership and the people in our community to see you at the face, as the face of this, to promote it, because sometimes in what we experience with the stimulus, EIDL, and PPP, there's some distrust in the Black community about banks and loans and grants, and not knowing for sure what to do. Do I want to take on that kind of debt? And I think, simply sometimes we find it harder to trust the people who don't identify as Black when they tell us to get a loan. So, having someone who looks like us managing it and putting it together, helping to develop this program while understanding the needs of our community, because that's an issue too. Sometimes the institutions who have people there who don't identify as Black, they don't understand our unique needs and exactly what we need when it comes to funding and access to capital. So I think it's really great that you're in the community, and then you're taking what you found in the community and what you just know, being a Black woman in business, and applying that into funding programs like this.
Well,
Yeah.
I tried. We did recognize at the city level, we did recognize that we had to step back and do something special. The Community Foundation for Greater New Haven recognized that they needed to really reach out and support the community and minority businesses. So this collaboration, this partnership, which is why it's called a partnership, it's new, it's different, it's fresh. So we look forward to doing more and more things like that going forward in the future.
And we're looking forward to it too. And Jennifer just said in the chat, there is just a lack of trust. So, having someone we know, we can say, hey, Cathy told us this. So Cathy, it's all coming back to you either way. So Cathy told us this. So this is what I need to do. Okay. And then also make sure you're clicking that link, because I know you said about a month ago or so, or maybe less than that there was only like 1 or 2 New Haven businesses who applied for the Headco loan.
Yes.
Wow.
So there's funding out there. Oh, go ahead.
No, like Cathy said, I think the key here is really having that back office in order, because when you do, applying for loans like these is easy, right? If I could just click a couple buttons and print out my profit and loss statement versus having to sit here and try to recreate it for the last 9 months is really different. So all the resources that are available to small businesses to help them set that up and help them understand what they need to do is definitely a valuable resource.
Yeah, and we really try. Don't come up to our office though with all your receipts in a shoebox, because we're not going to help you. We're going to send you to Samantha.
No, don't send them to me. You're going to send them to Chantel. Chantel will take that and she's going to get you all the way together.
Did we just pass the buck?
Just pass it along. Send them to me for the business plan. Like what you were saying was, people have stuff in their business plan, they don't know what it is. Right now, Letitia and I are collaborating, and we're working with a company who's building an enterprise level business plan. So they're going to need multiple business plans, but we're meeting with them twice a week to go through what's in the business plan, so that they know, and we need their input. We can't just create this based on whatever they want. They're relying on Letitia for the numbers. Y'all don't want Sammy to do the numbers, but they're relying on Letitia for the numbers. They're relying on me for the business plan, but we're relying on them for the insight, because we can't build it on our own. So the last thing you want to do is go present a document and you don't know what's in it. and it's supposed to be reflective of your dream and your goal.
Exactly. One thing you have to have is passion, because that's your key to success. If you're passionate about what you want to do, then you will be successful with it. You will be successful with it. And I'm glad to know that you help people with business plans. I did not know that because I just got a call this morning, and I will certainly refer them to you.
Okay. I can do that.
Sammy does it all.
Well, I didn't know that you assisted with business plans. That's good to know. I'll be calling you later on today.
Thank you, Kathy.
Passion is really, really key. You have to be passionate. And there's so many resources out here to help you. I mean, people come to us with all types of ideas. But one of the ways that you can really go and figure it out, you can go to the library and just pull up a business plan about whatever industry you're looking. I want to start a daycare. Well, go and look up some business plans on daycares and see what's involved. You know.
So Kathy mentioned the library. I'll do a quick plug while I'm still there. I am still the entrepreneur in residence at the New Haven Free Public Library. As the EIR, I have office hours until next Wednesday, till the end of September. So if you have a question, come get an appointment and we can talk about that business that you want to get into. And I think too, when you talk about that passion, I think it's relevant whether you're in corporate, working a job, being an employee, or if you're in business for yourself as an entrepreneur, because that passion is going to show up either way. You know, I write resumes all the time. So I'm constantly talking to people about what they want to do. And I can feel when there's no passion in what their career or their jobs. And then I can tell when they are gung-ho, they researched it, they know what they want to do, they have a clear career path. And it's the same as entrepreneurship. Like you said, you can't come into the entrepreneurship program just because you need money, right? You need income. So you say, I'm gonna go start a job. Running a business is not a 40-hour, 35-hour a week kind of gig. So, you know, you really have to think, am I passionate enough to pursue this this business, this goal that I have, or do I want to go work for someone else and help them fulfill their dreams?
And I just want to piggyback on that. Being an entrepreneur, it is not a job. It is not just a job. Being an entrepreneur, it is truly your life.
Yeah.
It's a whole new lifestyle that you're entering to, and it's 24/7. And always remember, you have to figure out that work-life balance. You know, you have to have a balance there too. You have to learn when to say no.
Yes.
But it's certainly not just a job. And for those that are working in a position, you gotta love it. Because sometimes it's not always about the amount of money you make, but the enjoyment that you're getting out of it, or the fulfillment that you're getting out of it.
And that's what your program is good for too, because in entrepreneurship, that's one main difference between having a job and working and running your business. There may be some seasonality to your income that you have coming in. Whereas if you're working 40 hours, you know to expect X amount on this date. As an entrepreneur, you may need to start to learn how to look at your back office and understand when money is flowing in and maybe when money's not flowing in as much, and what you need to do in order to maintain your lifestyle, your business. And while we're talking about the roles you're in, corporate or entrepreneurship, make sure you're putting your information in the chat so that everybody knows who you are and what you do, and then they can connect with you also. What I like to do is take that information and share it with everyone who attended at the end, well, hopefully over the weekend. I'll send that out to you guys so that everyone can connect with each other, because with the collaboration, we have a strong focus on collaboration and partnership and working together to achieve goals. So Kathy, that brings me to my next question, because whether you're in entrepreneurship or you're working as an employee, how have you felt about professional development and continuing to acquire new skills and to learn new things?
Always, 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 always. I firmly feel that professional development you should always take advantage of. Should always take advantage of. Early in my career, I always tried to take some sort of course that I felt would benefit me. Like the graduate certificate I did at George Washington, it's a graduate certificate program, but I was ready to make a leap into something else. And people used to always say, Kathy, you're always taking a class in something. Well, early on, when my attention span was a little better, I would always take a course. And I'm a firm believer in professional development. If you feel it's your next step, or you feel that you need to enhance something that you may not have, or you may have a little bit of it, well, just go take a course, whether it's an online course or something that, whether it's an online course or something you can sit and read about, or something, or a course that you can just take for a few hours. Always do it. Always.
Yeah.
I always encourage
Hi,
people.
Kathy. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
We got Ben
Good.
on.
It's been a while. How you doing?
I've been good. Busy, but no
Good.
complaints. Sammy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's great to see you. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. Just
I'm
been,
so glad you're able to join.
yeah, I was listening to all the wonderful things that you were saying, and just wanted to say a quick hi.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ben. And then I have one, well, it might be the last one. I'll see. So what I wanted to know was, with our collaboration, we do have a mentorship role. Sydney serves in the mentorship role. Diane Winston is my mentor. She was our speaker last month. She serves in the mentorship role. Do you find mentorship to be important? Have you sought mentors throughout your career?
I think mentors are very good. I mean, my hard-headed self, I've never had a mentor per se, but I've had people that I could always go to. For example, when I first started trading, I had no clue other than the movie Wall Street. I had no clue about it, but I was working in the Treasury Department of a company, and the treasurer left, and they thought I knew what he was doing. I was only assisting him. And they actually, I actually took over what he was doing, and then they hired someone over me. And she said, why did they hire me? I said, you know why? She says, well, I'm gonna find you another job. And so I went over to Freddie Mac. I talked to a lot of people on Wall Street, and I spent some time with a lot of people on Wall Street trading at the trading desk. I went to Freddie Mac and interviewed for a job, but they were looking for a director of their trading desk. And she said, fine, I'll go over and get the job and bring you over. I said, I've never been a trader. She said, Kathy, you can do it. Well, one of the things I used to do in that position, I managed all the short-term cash for this particular company. So what I did, I worked with a trader at Merrill Lynch and a trader at Shearson, I think it was. But anyway, I had them make a commitment to me. I will always give them the money to invest, which I put a lot of money in their pockets.
Yeah.
But they had to spend the afternoon telling me what I invested in and why. Why one versus the other. And they held to their bargain, to our agreement. Every afternoon after we invested in the market, we would sit and they would teach me about the investment and why the investment. Fast forward, I'm sitting at Freddie Mac and she says, okay, well, I think I'm gonna promote you up to head the trading desk. I said, well, I don't know how to do that. She's just listen. Just sit and listen on the phone. Just sit and listen, and you'll learn how to do it. So I did, and I was head trader. But you just start acquiring skills. As I always said, as long as I can read, I can learn. So
Write it down.
as long as I can read, I can learn. So I've always had people I can go to, people that I've met along the way that I can still to this day pick up the phone and call. So I guess they were indirect mentors for me. It wasn't just
Absolutely.
one person, it was several persons, because, you know, you can pull from skill sets of different people to make you one.
Exactly. And I want to touch on something you mentioned in that recap. It's really sometimes having a sponsor in rooms that you are not in, people who
Right.
can champion for you and speak up on your behalf.
Right.
And whether they consider that them to be a mentor or not, you know, just having those sponsors. Because sometimes as, you know, women of color, as Black women, we're not going to have access and opportunities that other people may. So when those other people are in rooms that you can't get into right now, it's important that they're speaking on your behalf. So that again goes back to developing those relationships and strategic partnerships with sometimes people who don't look like you, because they have access to things you can get into that you just can't. So
It looks like me.
Sam,
yes.
can I ask a question? Because, you know, a lot of, this is Mary, a lot of Cathy, what you spoke to, kind of, I identify on it because I am still in the corporate world. And yes, I am in a management position, a VP, but I'm at the point where I want to explore my wings, but I don't want to say I am stuck, but I'm trying to figure out a way to use that because, like you said, as a Black woman, you get to a point, you know, I was mentored all the way up to this role. And I feel like, you know, either people don't take the time to mentor me because I have a path that I want to go to. So people like that are with me, where I've been in the banking industry 15 years, been a manager for 8 years. And I'm just like, I am tired of taking another management role. I really want to get up to the next level, but it's like nobody's hearing me.
I think, can I share something on that?
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that you have to you know, put into consideration, because you're right, all of us, as Cathy mentioned, we all have mentors. It's important that you get a mentor that is doing far better than you in the business that you want to get into. I think that's important. I learned that. So I'm sorry?
Sure.
Yeah, I said that's yeah.
Right. So I learned that if you want to be very good at what you're doing, whatever industry that you choose to be in, you have to make sure the person that mentors you, it is so big that they will not find you as a competition or as a threat. So that's true. One, because I learned that when you get mentors that are doing on your same level and you're in the same, let's say, arena or town, you tend to not get the whole mentorship. So that's one. But I think also mentors are like everyone else. We're all busy and they're all busy. So before you reach out to a mentor, you know, take a weekend off and really outline exactly what you're looking to do and what goal you're trying to accomplish. You should never go to a mentor with, I think I want to do this. No, you should go to a mentor and say, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's the one pager of my page. Now I'm here and I want to get here by this year. Here's what I'm doing now. Here's what I'm thinking about doing. Can you look at this and give me input? Those are very easy to get people to mentor you on that, because one, it shows that you've taken the initiative to know exactly what you're looking for and you're just trying to meet them halfway. But I just wanted to mention that mentors do love to help, but mentors are like you. They're busy. So if you're not ready when you go to them, what's going to happen is they'll call you back or text you back in 5 days, or but if you, one thing I've learned is that if you test a mentor, if you email a mentor and say, here's what I'm doing, this is what I'm trying to do, what do you think of this idea? Would this option A or B work, or do you have any other option? When you approach a mentor in that regards, they tend to respond back very quickly. But the reason why I stopped you when you were talking was because when you mentioned the same thing as a mentor, you also mentioned that you're having a hard time getting a mentor and you don't know why they are reaching out to you. But I think the way that you made a statement, it made me think that your approach to a mentor should be a little bit different. And that will get you a better result than you may have had.
Thank you
so much. Yes.
Make sure you put your info in the chat so Nay can connect with you. Our two African queens we have on the line right now.
Yes, we do.
I just want to piggyback on that. Make sure you get out and network, because your mentor may not be in the same profession that you're in.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Thank you for
Yes.
that.
May I interject as well?
Yes.
You know, I think a lot of what V said is right on point because, you know, I've had a lot of different types of experiences, both in business and just in life. So I mentor a lot of people on a lot of different levels. Some of the people are street people who now want to segue into turning their lives around and being established in different types of business. Some of them don't have the skills they need, but you can tell when you engage them that they have the potential to accomplish great things. So one of the things that I think you were on point about is I can only go so far because at the end of the day, I know a lot about a lot of different things, but I'm specifically really talented and have expertise in specific types of businesses. So for example, now what I'm doing now is I've decided that I want to go into SEC arbitration. So I tapped into a woman who has a very long history of mentoring on SEC, different types of arbitration. So I'm well on my way to mastering. I'm in the training process. So I'm learning how to do SEC arbitration. But see, when I first wanted to do it, the person I spoke to first was my dear friend Sheila Allen Bell, who passed away last year. And she gave me great advice. She was a wonderful mentor. I think she also mentored V, and a lot of prominent Black women in New Haven came underneath her umbrella. But like she used to say to me, and it's exactly what V said, you have to know exactly what you want to do. You have to have some idea of how you want to get there, and you have to be committed to it. Because
Yeah, I think
a lot of people are just, they're scattered, and they want to do things, but they're not quite sure exactly how to get there or what it is they specifically wish to do. So
I think there's a lot of research that goes into that. So you just don't grab a mentor, potential mentor out of the air. You do some research and figure out what you want to do, some internal research, figure out what you want to do, and some external research, who's already paved that way. Exactly. So not someone who's you're doing it and learning together, but who's paved that way to help you where you need to go. And so let me ask if there's any other questions for Cathy, because Cathy has work to do. So she has to jump and go to her next agenda item. So any questions or comments for Cathy now?
I just want to say thank you. And remember that the sky is the limit and you can do anything you want. Just apply it.
Keisha, there's Keisha.
Hey, Keisha. How are you, Keisha?
Great. I just hopped on to say thanks, Cathy. Thanks for hosting Cathy, Sammy. This has been very informative.
Very informative. Keisha, next month we're hoping to have you join, so we'll continue. Okay. Put Keisha on too.
Okay, I'll send you the date, Sammy. But what a wonderful group you have on the call today. This has been great.
Thank you. While you mentioned that, there is a website. So some of you guys who are members of our collaboration, some of your dues have been coming out recently. We thank you, but we've been putting it to good work. So I just want to share our new website that we are launching on this call today to show you guys. So this is our collaboration. We're up to 39 members in 8 states. Over the last year and a half, 2 years, we hosted 14 events. Our website has our contact information, our social media. Click on this link to get into our email list. When you navigate through, you can quickly click on links to become a member. We have all of our membership information outlined here. I put the link in the chat. We have, you can easily click, become a member, fill out the form, submit your payment, and just like that, you're done. I mean, it's pretty cool. Here also, this event, we already have it up here. So soon, hopefully over the weekend, we'll have the recording here. You see our previous one, so you see watch the replay. So you can go into our website and you can watch all of our replays. You can see videos from our events that we've had. Okay, so we've been working diligently behind the scenes to get this built for you guys. And we have our founders section where you meet us lovely ladies.
That picture, no.
Oh, after COVID, we're gonna have to take another one with some without mask and everything. So
Gotcha.
all of our bios, I am the president of the collaboration. Letitia is our vice president. Nay Fall is our membership director. And we have Sydney, who's our mentor coordinator. All right, so check out the website. Let me stop sharing. And we hope that you, if you're not a member, we hope that you do decide to become a member and join our collaboration. Oh,
Absolutely.
Sonia asked the question. No, Sonia, this is not just for Black women. We also have Latinx women. We have white women. Our very first member was a white woman,
Yes,
Barb.
she was.
Barb is an ally, true ally. We love her.
She still is a member, right?
Yes, she is still a member. Sonia, there you go. You are welcome to join. Everyone is welcome to join. Even Jeffrey. Jeffrey is a male. He does not identify as female.
Yes,
Jeffrey
yes, he is.
crashes all of our events. He comes to
Yes.
before COVID, all the luncheons. Jeffrey was there. And I tell Jeffrey, we'll take your donation. Come on, just, we'll gladly take it.
And he advertises for us too.
Oh, he
Yes,
does
he does.
advertise for us. So,
Yes.
everyone is welcome to become a member. Our sole purpose of the collaboration, when we thought about this 2 years ago, was, like Cathy said, you have to be networking. I was networking, right? I'm networking everywhere. You guys see me on social media. I'm into everything. But in all these groups, it's majority white people. One of my members from my BNI group, Bosmet, is on. Thanks for joining, Bosmet. My BNI chapter is all white. I'm trying to get some melanin in there.
I know.
Bosmet's trying to help me get some melanin in the BNI chapter. And so there wasn't really a group like this for professional women to really come together and support, empower, partner, collaborate, and really economically stimulate each other. Let's do business together. Let's get our funds growing together and partner and see what we can do to build something great. And so that is what the collaboration is about. So regardless of how you identify, regardless of your skin color, if that's a mission that you can support and get behind, we would love to have you as a member.
Love to have your participation. Absolutely.
And Sammy, just to add to that, like to give you an example, today I met this Black lady for the first time walking into my office, so excited with her trade name, launching her construction business. And after obviously opening the account, the first thing I mentioned was the collaboration, send her a link. I know she had some meeting till 1 o'clock. She would try to join. I don't see her, but I will follow with her because she's so excited. She's like, oh my God, I lived in Hamden. This is excited. And
that's what we do. We're constantly trying to recruit and expand. We started in New Haven, Hamden area, right? We started with our one white member, Barb. And then COVID drove us to where we are today. We started now we're advertising on social media where we're putting everything out on a national level. And when we did our first post-COVID webinar, we quickly went from like 5 members to 30 members in a week. And we went from the state of Connecticut to 8 different states. We have, we're on the West Coast, we're down south, we're on the East Coast. And so, you know what, why play small? Our next level, let's go global, right? We have Ben and Nay, our African support. Let's bring in some Africans, right? Let's go global with the collaboration. But it starts with us. It starts with us, and that's why we're here, and we're constantly trying to give our members what's lacking outside in the other groups. So that's why we're here. So I'm constantly talking to the members, and I'm saying, what do you need? How can we support you, and how can we pour into you? Because we know what we already know what's out there. It's status quo what's out there, but we know as Black women what we need from each other. So we have our Facebook group. We now have our website, we have Instagram, and we want to connect with you ladies. So click those links, join us. We would love to have you guys. Any questions from anyone? Comments?
Sammy, I'll say one thing before I get off. You have my contact, right? You have my information. So if any one of you ladies, because I've been doing this for a while as well myself, But if any one of you ladies have any, questions about business, just remember what I said, make sure you know what you're asking, get to the point. No 2 pages, because most people don't read past the first couple of sentences. But ask me any question that you have, about the business, about what's happening, in the industry. If you have questions about billings and billing percentages, you can always ask me. I've gotten pretty good at how I price work out, whether it's what I do or just in general. So if you have those simple questions, you can always reach out to Sammy, and she can test me, or you can test me, and then I'll be able to help you with what I know. So you guys have a great day, okay?
Thank you, V.
Bye, Cathy. It's really good to see you.
Yes, we need to connect, V. I'll email
V,
you.
send me your
is busy.
Yeah, V is busy.
V is busy. Don't even bother.
Bye. Have a great day. Really
Bye,
good.
V.
Hey, what I was thinking was V is really big in the construction area, and I think your new client who came into the bank that's starting her business in construction, I think it might be a good connection.
And she needs to connect with me as well.
Yes. And Sydney. Sydney's also in
Sydney, I already threw your name out there. I said one of my co-members is into construction, because when she told me she does construction, I was like, whoa, this is a commercial construction. I said, you need to meet Sydney, but now I know she need to meet V. And I know I need to meet with you, V, because what you told me is I knew this, but like I said, I always need that positive reinforcement, because I'm in the zone right now. I know what I want. It's outlined, but I just need, like I said, a person that's really, so I would love to meet with you, but I will connect you with my customer. Her name is Lakeisha Robinson.
Okay. Well, what I would do is I would talk to Sammy and Cathy if maybe when they do the program, maybe once a month, I can join them as well, and I can answer any questions that you ladies have.
Yes.
I think Cindy, Cathy, Sammy, and myself, we can do that. So if you want. Sammy, if you want to organize this for your team and have all the questions from everyone in advance, you can even email us, and then we'll join in and just answer the questions for everyone. If you,
I love it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you. I know how busy you are, so I appreciate that. And you gotta go. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, V.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Any other questions or comments?
I think today was a really wonderful, very insightful, informative workshop. And I think, and I'm very happy to see that we're expanding. We're doing something, and you know what? I think it's great that we're welcoming all types of women, because there's a lot of bright women in all cross sections, all races. I think this has the potential to do something really great.
Awesome. And Keisha just put her info in the chat. So if we put enough fire under her, we can confirm that Keisha will be our guest speaker for October.
Yeah, whatever you want, Sammy.
But Keisha is, let me get it right here. So she's the executive director of WPEO, which is the Women's President. And you go ahead, Keisha.
Okay, so I'm the executive director for the Women's President's Educational Organization. Our principal mission is to certify women-owned businesses in Southern Connecticut, state of New York, Northern and Central New Jersey. It's a national women's business certification. We have some superstars online. We have Sammy and Diane Winston are both certified through our organization, and our principal mission really is to get you connected not only with other women business owners in the country, but also to connect you with opportunities through the supply diversity programs at the major Fortune 500 companies. But it's a wonderful way for you to do purposeful networking and find a different entry and a different opportunity for you to promote your products or services to corporate America.
Yes.
And take advantage of those opportunities. On a local level, we provide a lot of educational programming. We partner with a lot of women's business or just business organizations to help you learn more about how to work on your business. I love the conversation today about, you know, professional development and continuing education, so you can learn how to be smarter about presenting yourself and your business and being purposeful with your time. So this is a great platform, Sammy. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think everyone may be in the Connecticut area, but WPEO is the, like Keisha was saying, the regional chapter of WeBank, WBENC. So you guys have heard me talk about getting your business certified, woman-owned, minority-owned, veteran-owned, LGBTQ. What Keisha does is get you certified as a women business enterprise. So that's who you want to know. You want to know Keisha, okay? Keisha came to my house to do a what do you call it? A check.
A visit, yeah. And I found your whole location, no problem.
I live on a private road. I just had Uber Eats come. They couldn't find me.
But I found you. You know, it's great. It's great to have this collective energy and speaking with each other and figuring out ways to share information, because oftentimes you see that one shining star person, you're like, how did he or she make it? And if we're lucky enough, we are in a organization like this or in a group of people like this that are willing to share information. Not everyone is so lucky. They're like, oh no, I just woke up like this.
Some people don't want to tap into it. And then also with WPEO, me and Diane, we are both members, and that's where I met Diane, through a WPEO training. They did a lunch and learn in Shelton, I think it was. And I met Diane at one of those events, and now she's stuck with me.
No, we can't get away.
No, not at all.
Sammy is so shy. Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah, Sammy is so shy.
Yeah.
I get it from Diane.
Cathy, this was great. Thank you. And thank you, Sammy. I'm not coming on camera because I have been on a virtual conference call all day.
Oh, no.
And yes, it's building business. 3 days in a row, virtual conference. So, but I jumped off for this. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Diane got some new hair too. That is fabulous right now.
It is, Diane.
No. Sammy, you're off limits. Off limits. Stop yourself.
She does that sometimes. Yeah, Sammy does that every now and then.
She's a wild woman. She's a wild woman. I can only mentor her for about 10 minutes, then I gotta go. Anyway, Cathy, I really did enjoy, and hopefully I'll have an opportunity to meet you in person one day. Sit down, have a cup of coffee.
Yes. So yes, we are open to our membership. We're going to keep doing these until it's safe to leave the house again. You can find us monthly. We'll be doing more. We have member specific events. Every Monday we have a Monday manifestation call. It's kind of like an accountability call where you check in every Monday and let us know where you are with your goals. You tell us what goals you set, and then we hold you accountable to those goals. So like Keisha, Chantel has come to our Monday manifestation call.
Oh boy.
And we're there. Letitia is our analytical genius, so she pulls up her database and she says she knows what you said you was going to do last week, and she pulls it up and we say, did you do it? Did you make it happen? And if not, why? What's stopping you, right? So look forward to those and more member-only events. We do have a member-only Facebook group also. I hope you guys are all in our public Facebook group, but once you become a member, we'll throw you into our member-only group, and you get to share some of those benefits. And if there's nothing else, then I'll let you ladies go. Enjoy your Friday. Get ready for your weekend.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. And I enjoy the energy and the great information. I look forward to attending again.
Yes, we look forward to having you. I want to see you in the Facebook group. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad everyone joined.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Be safe.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.